Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining another prenatal nutrition class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies, Coalition of Broward County. They are committed to help pregnant women to have a healthy pregnancy and to deliver healthy babies. And I am responsible to support you in the prenatal nutrition area of the Moms for Wellness program. My name is Chef Dulce Jimenez, and I am a health coach and cooking instructor and wellness chef. And this is the good thing that I can combine all this knowledge and to support you in how to implement good nutrition in your cooking and in your eating at home. Today, we're going to talk about fat, fish, and fiber, which are three things that I believe are important for a healthy pregnancy. Okay. So I have a question for you, and you can answer in the chat. Are all fat bad? What do you think? We have fats from a cheeseburger and bacon and French fries. We have different oils in here. We have fats from processed food and from cold cuts, and also fats from olive oil, from nuts and seeds, and from fish. What do you think? So fat is an essential nutrient. So that tells you that not all fat are bad. There are certain fats that are essential for good nutrition. So, given said that, which is the best fat for you, right? Because it's confusing. A lot of people said that, or doctors and research that we have to avoid all fats. And now I'm telling you the fat is an essential nutrient for a healthy nutrition and for a healthy body. So yes, it is a little bit confusing because there's so much information out there, but I'm going to clarify some of that. So there are several types of fat: trans fat, monounsaturated fat, saturated fat, which are the same, or you can find those fats in olive oil or coconut oil. So which ones are the best? Okay, so we're going to go back to that. But before we continue, I want to remind you that there are 6 vital nutrients for healthy living and for optimal health. And in order of importance, they are numbered here. So number 1 are carbohydrates or complex carbs, fats, the second one in importance. 3, proteins, vegan proteins or animal proteins. 4, minerals. 5, vitamins. And 6, water. Water is an important nutrient, and we need water. We need balancing all these nutrients from healthy sources to have optimal health and for obviously have a healthy pregnancy and deliver healthy babies. So fat are a valuable source of energy. Our body reserves fat cells for energy. That's why consuming a lot of fat will, make you be overweight. And because the body, if you don't use them for fuel constantly, your body is going to start storing it. However, there are necessary building blocks for the brain to function and for your nervous system to function and for developing the building blocks for your baby systems as well. And it also aids and carry out a bunch of other vitamins that are also important, like A, D, E, and K. And as I said before, not all fats are created equal. The fats that are best for you are monosaturated fat, which are unsaturated, and some saturated fat as well. We're going to go over this a little bit more in detail so we demystify all this confusing information. So let's get this out of the way. All fats are processed, except the ones that come directly from your food. So say an avocado. An avocado is an excellent source of good fat. Also, salmon, some fish, anchovies, and also nuts, right? So those are natural fats that you get from your foods. So how do you know what are the monounsaturated fats? Those are the oils that are the best to consume because they stay in liquid form. And although they're processed, and we already established that all fats that are processed are not the greatest for you, they have better composition, I will say. For example, olive oil comes from olives that has polynutrients, and they have other things that are good for your body and that we need for a healthy nutrition. Same as avocado oil, hazelnuts, peanut oil. But you need to consider that if you use them all the time and in all your cooking, that will be overusing them. So even though they are better, they're still, you have to consume them in moderation. That's what oil and fats portioning is key. Because all food has fat, we don't need much or to add much extra. So look at the difference here. This is just a small lead, and this is about the size. This is about 1 or 2 tablespoons. And seeing this from a different perspective, if you see that 400 calories of oil is very little and is not going to make you feel, full at all. If you see 400 calories of fried chicken, it's not at all neither. But when you eat 400 calories of vegetables, oh my goodness, you're going to be full. And this is going to give you a lot of nutrition, a lot of nourishment, and a lot of fiber, which is one of the things that we're going to talk today. So filling up your stomach with the vegetables is more effective and efficient for the body and for your health. So fatty acids are essential as well, and especially the omega-3 fatty acids. It is important for the rapid brain growth in utero of your baby. It also affects your baby's vision. And the form that is the best is the DHA, and is the most important one. You can obtain this essential fatty acid through eating wild salmon, about 6 ounces twice a week. We're going to talk about fish in a little bit. Flax oil, which is a vegan plant source for this type of fatty acid, and omega-3 supplements. More than likely, you have to supplement because you need at least 600 milligrams per day consistently. Okay, so let's talk about now cholesterol. Cholesterol is a fat, and it's a fat that has a bad rap. But what is it? Let's know that cholesterol is a very important fatty compound that is made in the liver and also found in some foods. It is a major constituent of the cell membrane, and it is necessary for the formation of hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and vitamin D, as well as other important compounds in the body. This is something that the body produces itself because it's needed. Okay? So the cholesterol is needed for baby's growing brain again. It's a building block for pregnancy hormones. It is produced naturally in the liver from saturated fat and will be slightly increased when you are pregnant. So this is something that you should go over with your doctor. It's important that they test your cholesterol levels because you want to keep an eye on it. So what is my recommendation? What you should do today is to give yourself an oil change. I have always told you that our body is a magnificent vehicle that is going to take you everywhere you want through your entire life, from the moment you're born to the moment you're no longer in this earth. So you should give yourself an oil change consistently and regularly. And what do I mean by that? Use plant oils more often than not. Use oils sparingly and in small quantities. Use oils that will stay liquid in and outside the body. Use whole and real foods that will provide you with the fats your body needs. And use oils according to cooking method. So these are healthy fats from plants and based on the cooking methods. So if you want to cook, or if you're cooking a food in a high heat cooking, you should be using avocado oil. If you're going to eat them raw in a salad, a great oil will be the walnut oil. And of course, the olive oil. And also olive oil is good for low to medium heat cooking. And coconut oil can also be used in high heat cooking like the avocado oil. Although the coconut oil gets hardened, it is a best saturated fat than if you compare it with animal fat, because it also has other components that are good for you. Okay, so let's go to talk about fish and seafood. So I love this class about fish because I have so many moms that are so sad that they cannot continue eating their favorite seafood. They are confused if the fish is going to be good for the baby or not. And, you know, what is the best one? How much can I eat? So all these questions are understandable because, you know, moms-to-be has to stop some of the pleasures like, you know, drinking wine, and some women smoke and they have to stop all these things. And now they also have to stop, you know, eating their seafood. Well, I have good news. Fish and seafood are a great source of nutrients, and it will provide you protein, iron, zinc, and omega-3 essential fatty acids, DHA, which we already saw is an essential nutrients. And these nutrients are crucial for the baby's organs growth and development, okay? However, these are the main concerns about seafood. There's two main concerns. Number one is mercury contamination and bacteria contamination. Mercury is a substance that accumulates in bloodstream over time and could damage your baby's developing and nervous system. And seafood is very susceptible to bacteria, and it will be transferred to consumer. So if you consume a bacteria in the seafood, it's going to make you sick, and the last thing you want is get sick while you're pregnant. That is not fun and is very high risk. So taking that in consideration, right? Seafood and fish will provide you some good nutrients. However, we have two concerns. So what can we do? I have created these rules, which I call them learn. So this will help you consume fish and seafood safely while you're pregnant. So the L is for limit the consumption to 8 ounces and up to 12 ounces per week. Eat fish and seafood with highest content of nutrient. The A means avoid large all predatory fish. The R means roast, bake, pan-sear, or fry, but never eat raw or undercooked fish or seafood. And the N means not while, do not purchase. So this is the acronym for LEARN. And we're going to go over each one of those in a second and in more details. Okay, so let's start with L, which is limit the consumption. So eating less amount will minimize the risk while you enjoy the seafoods that you like. So we recommend a limit of 8 ounces per week and up to 12 ounces. Why do I say up to 12 ounces? So you should be dividing your servings through the week, maybe 2 servings of 4 ounces, which is 8 ounces, or 3 servings of 3 ounces, or 3.5, which is 10.5 ounces. And they should be fishes that are giving you the maximum amount of nutrients. Okay, this is the source I'm getting this information if you want to go directly and get the guidelines. So the E is for eat fish and seafood with the highest content of nutrients. So there is always a small risk when you're eating seafood, and you want to ensure that you're eating the ones that provide you with the most nutritional value, right? You don't want to be eating something that is going to put you in risk and it's not going to give you any nutrition. It's the same thing as eating junk food. So the most important nutrient that the fish will supply is omega-3, which is an essential fatty acid in the form of DHA. You should be eating the seafood that provides you with the highest content on omega-3 fatty acid, because this nutrient can promote the baby's brain and vision development. Choose fish and seafood that, besides the omega-3 fatty acid, also offer other nutrients that might be supplied depending on the fish or the seafood that you're consuming. And let's go over these ones here. So fish and seafood with the highest content of nutrients and lowest in mercury, you can see them right here, is sardines. And the good thing is that sardines are wild and cheap. They're highest in omega-3 fatty acids, they're lowest in mercury, and they also provide you with calcium and vitamin D. Herring. Herring is high in omega-3 fatty acid. It also contains vitamin A, D, B12, and potassium. Salmon is very high quality protein when they're wild. Omega-3 fatty acids as well, potassium, vitamins D, B12, and B5. Okay, anchovies are high in omega-3 fatty acids. They also provide you with vitamin B3, selenium. Cod provides you with vitamin B12, niacin, phosphorus, selenium, omega-3 fatty acids, choline, and iodine. So shrimp are a little bit more risky, but they provide you with a lot of vitamins: selenium, choline, niacin, zinc, vitamin E, B12, and B6. So these are the 5 that I recommend, and they are approved by me, but you make your own research and make sure you always consume within the limited amount and buy from reputable sources. Okay, so say you don't want to eat fish and consume seafood, but you want to get that source of the omega-3 fatty acids. So these are other sources that I recommend. Foods, flaxseed, ground seeds or flaxseed oil, canola oil, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and soybean like edamame are all good sources of omega-3 fatty acids. And the ground flax seeds, you can add in your shake every day. I put 2 tablespoons of flaxseed in my shakes every day. Also, you can have fortified foods that are added. Omega-3 fatty acids are added, like yogurt, milk, eggs. Those can be fortified by omega-3, and you will read it in their label. And also supplements, because supplements might contain fish oil or omega-3 fatty acid from marine plant sources. So some of them are from plant sources. Many prenatal vitamins also contain DHA. So you should check with your doctor and check in your prenatal, how much are you getting? You should generally require 600 milligrams per day. But again, talk to your doctor before taking any supplement. Okay, the A from learn is avoid large predatory fish. Large oil and predatory fishes are high in mercury. They will consume more fishes, stay longer in water, hence more mercury contamination. And those are shark, swordfish, cane mackerel, tilefish, and tuna. So it's better not to consume tuna while you are pregnant. The bigger the fish, the higher in mercury content. Okay, so this is a good website that you can check any advisory and last minute, up to the minute advisory about seafood. And it's called seafoodwatch.org. When you're buying seafood and you're not in a place that has those advisory very clearly noted, you should go there first, okay? Okay, and cook seafood properly. Roast, bake, pan-sear it, or fry it. I don't recommend a lot of frying, but it's better than eat it raw. You should never, never eat anything raw or undercooked. Mostly if it's fish or seafood. No sushi, no raw sushi. Most seafood should be cooked to an internal temperature of 145 Fahrenheit. Fish is done when it's separated into flakes and appears opaque throughout. Cook shrimp and lobster until the flesh is barely and opaque, like it's pink, really pink. Cook clams, mussels, and oysters until their shells open. Discard any that do not open. Do not eat uncooked fish and shellfish to avoid harmful bacteria or viruses. Do not eat seafood or fish, including oyster, sushi, sashimi, and refrigerated uncooked seafood labeled Nova style, lox, kippered, smoked, or jerky. All those labels and all those foods that I have just mentioned, they are raw, uncooked, and they can bring bacteria. So you should keep fish always refrigerated. Even when you buy it from the supermarket, ask them to give you a bag of ice or a little bit of ice, or bring your own cooler to keep your food and your seafood cool. If you thaw your seafood from frozen, cook it immediately. Do not freeze again, and never, never put it to thaw outside the fridge. You always keep it in the refrigerator. After purchasing fresh fish, cook it immediately. And after cook, consume immediately and within 2 days. Do not eat leftover seafood with more than 3 days in the fridge. These are precautions. Maybe you can get away with this when you're not pregnant and be okay. Some people do these things a lot and they're okay. But remember, you are preventing to getting sick or getting a bacteria or a virus for you and your baby. So it's very important to adhere to these rules while you're pregnant. Farm versus wild caught fish. If it's not wild, I will not ask you to purchase. My recommendation is not to buy any food that is not wild. So why? Because farm fish has a lot of implications. The implications of the high demand seafood industry raises concerns about farms' safety and sustainability. Wild commercial fishery harvests wild creatures from natural habitats. Wild fish eat what nature intends them to eat, and they roam free in nature, versus the fish that are farming, which is in a controlled, contained process, and its soaring demand yields rather uncontrolled consequences. Imagine people growing fishes in ponds that are, there are they have too many because they need to sell a lot of it. So you imagine all the waste products and the feces, and the uneaten food, the pesticides, veterinary drugs, and dead fish. All those things contaminate surrounding water and affect the entire aquatic ecosystem of the fish farming. And that is, could be a problem. So proliferation of bacterial, viral, and fungal diseases, as well as sea lice that is spread from farm to fresh fish, that is also a concern. And the resources required to feed, breed, and farm fish outweigh the product value. So there are very few fish farms that are very, very conscious, and they care for the value of their product, and they care for their consumers. So you have to be very, very conscious and protect yourself from that. Okay. Also, ecological problems like devastation to coastal habitats and ecosystems. So those are other issues that, if you want to be a consumer that is smart and caring for the environment. So that is something that you should consider. Okay. So this is a summary of everything that I have just said. So purchasing, when you're eating seafood, purchase fish that are high in omega-3 and low in mercury. Avoid large fishes to reduce exposure of mercury. So no shark, no swordfish, no king mackerel or tilefish, and no tuna. Buy wild, safely sourced, and sustainable cod fish. And if you're choosing to buy canned fish, make sure it is BPA free. And understand local advisories. Make sure you are educated consumer when you're going to buy fish. If you eat fish from local waters, pay attention to local advisories. If advice isn't available, do not consume. When in doubt, leave it out. Portion is key. Eat no more than 12 ounces a week, and not all together. You should divide it, because imagine if you eat 12 ounces and you get sick from 12 ounces. It's different from getting sick of 3 ounces or 4 ounces. That is important to divide those portions through the week. And you test that fish is good for you. And cook seafood properly. Most seafood should be cooked at internal temperature of 145. Fish is done when separates and is opaque throughout. And shrimp and lobster should be pink. Clams and mussels and oysters, they should open. And never ever eat anything that is not cooked. And that is, even if it's jerky means that it's not cooked. So that should not be consumed while you're pregnant. Okay, so this is another of the topics that I'm so excited to talk to you about, because fiber is something that we don't talk about a lot, and it's a very important to consume and for our health. Okay. So what is fiber and why is important? So fiber comes in two forms, and you need both kinds of fiber in a healthy diet to help with the digestive process. So there is insoluble fiber, which is the stringy part of fruits, vegetables, and the tough outer covering of the grains, which speeds up the passage of waste products through the intestines. And the second one is the soluble fiber, which helps mix food with water in the intestine making a kind of a gel that slows down the absorption of glucose and nutrients in the intestines as well. You know, digestion gets completed in the intestine. The intestines are jars long, they're very long, and they have very critical parts in the digestive and the absorption of the nutrients. So it's important what you consume, but it's most important how your body absorbs those nutrients, right? Because if you're eating and your body's not absorbing them, then you're not getting the nutrition from the food that you're consuming. So let's understand fiber. Fiber is even more important when you're pregnant because pregnancy hormones slows down your intestine, which means that food and waste products do not move along as quickly as usual. So the result is constipation, which can leave you feeling uncomfortable and bloated. Fiber, however, can fix this problem. A big number of pregnant women have constipation, and at some point during the pregnancy will be constipated. So that's why fiber plays a very important role in your healthy pregnancy. Fiber also absorbs water in your intestine and keeps it there, softening the contents of the intestines and keeping bowel movements moving. So constipation is a big challenge while pregnant, and fiber is the fix. But not only that, fiber also helps you and helps the intestine to absorb the nutrient and keep a good gut health. Okay, so where did you get the fiber? The fiber is in every whole grain products, in fruits, in vegetables, in beans, in peas and other legumes, in nuts and in seeds. Fiber is not found, however, in refined processed foods such as canned fruits and canned vegetables and pulp-free juices and white breads and pasta and non-whole grain cereals. So the grain refining process removes the outer coat from the grain, which lowers its fiber content. And rich foods have some of the B vitamins and iron added back after processing, but not the fiber. Okay? So vegetables, you get so much of your fiber, both the soluble and insoluble, in your vegetables, and there are 30,000 edible plants that exist right now, and we're eating about 150 of them, and some people don't even eat one or two. And there are 3 crops that dominate the market, which is rice, corn, and wheat, but mostly they're used to make processed foods, not to be eaten whole and how nature meant them to be. Just to give you a perspective, there's about 2,500 varieties of potatoes, and here we only see maybe 2 in the supermarket if we're lucky. Fruits as well, there's about 1,000 types of bananas, 7,000 types of apples around the world. Only in the US is 100, but we will never see 100 types of apple in our supermarket. We may see 3 or 4, and they sometimes are not even great. There is about 400 different species of berries. They come in all range of colors and hardness. And the more hardness and the more bitterness and the more colorful, the more nutrients and nutrition will provide you. So how to eat more fruits and vegetables? Now you know that you need them, right? So place them in front and center in your fridge. Have them cut up and clean, ready to eat in front of the fridge. What you see is what you're gonna get as soon as you open your refrigerator. Cut up carrots and broccoli, sweet peppers, and other raw veggies and keep them in sealed containers for quick snacking. And when you're going out, you can grab some type of dip and your veggies that are already ready. Enjoy them with fresh tomatoes or hummus or light homemade dressings or guacamole, which is great because it will provide you some good fats. And eat a salad every day. Make a commitment to eat a salad every day, even twice a day. Stay away from commercial dressings. Greens with the deepest colors are the best, like spinach and kale and romaine, chards and collard greens. Eat fruit for breakfast. Slice a banana or berries onto your cereal, oatmeal, make a chia pudding topped with fruit, or a whole wheat toast with seeds or nuts, butter, banana, and cinnamon on top, which are delicious. It's like a dessert for me. Also, when you're eating, color and crunch makes food appealing. So add them to your rices, to your soups, to your meat. Quick steam your veggies to lightly cook them. They will keep longer and fresher, and they will be more colorful. And maybe they don't have that raw taste. Like when you pass your broccoli a minute from really boiling water and then you let it, cool down, and they will be more crispy and they will be more flavorful. Dress up your veggies with lemon, dried herbs, fresh herbs, sesame seed, a touch of Parmesan cheese, grated or feta cheese. So those things will make your vegetables more flavorful, more appealing to eat. And eat fruits for desserts, doesn't have to be at 10 o'clock at night, but, in the middle of the day when you want that sweet touch or something sweet, try to go for fruits instead of going for a junk food or a, processed dessert. Cut them up already, have them ready. You can put a little bit of honey or put a few tablespoons of yogurt, or, that will be a nice ending to your meals. Add some citrus to apples and bananas and peaches and pears to prevent them from turning brown. And they also get more flavorful. Okay. So this is very important for you when you're pregnant. Washing your fruits and vegetables thoroughly is a must. You must wash them at least for a whole minute under water, cold water. If not, also put some water and vinegar in a container and let them there for at least a minute, and make sure you brush them, you clean them, take everything out. If you don't buy a commercial produce cleaner, you can make your own at home. Mix 2 cups of water with 1 whole cup of vinegar or water and lemon, and rub the skin with the lemon and salt, and rinse very well. As I said, at least a minimum of 60 seconds under cold running water. Use a cutting board for your vegetables only, and for your fruits, very different. You should not use a cutting board for vegetables, for fruits, and for meats, not one. You should have 3 at least. 1 for vegetables where you cut onions and garlic and things like that, then 1 only for your fruits. What I like to do, my cutting board for fruits is white. The one for meats is black, and the one for vegetables is green. I buy them plastic and I change them, periodically. You want to minimize any bacteria contamination, so handling your raw produce with caution is a must. Buy organic whenever possible. Organic foods still have some pesticides, however, they might be better options than the highly toxic conventional pesticides. And in many instances, it is not necessary to buy organics. So as a rule of thumb, whenever you're eating raw produce, raw fruit, and raw vegetables, that you're gonna, you will not take the peel off, it's better to buy them organic. And whenever possible, opt for organic when buying the product items from the Dirty Dozen or the Clean 15. Those are lists of products that have the most or the least pesticides. Okay. So also buying local fruits and vegetables are better because they decrease the amount of pesticides they put. When they bring imported fruits and vegetables, they pesticide, they get double amount, double whammy. to avoid entering any viruses and pests inside the country. Okay, so this is the list. You can get this list, ewg.org, or take a photo here. These are the cleanest ones, so it's okay to buy this one non-organic, this 15. But the dirty dozen, that means that they're the dirtiest in terms of pesticides. You should buy this one's organic as much as possible, okay? So I want to close the class inviting you to do some journaling and goals. What will I do to make sure I eat more fruits and vegetables this week? Take that goal and make it happen. Use some of the strategies that we have talked today so you can include more fiber in your diet. And I thank you so much for being here today. I want to leave you with this message. You don't have to eat less, you just have to eat right. Eating healthy foods fills your body with energy and nutrients. And when you are cooking and eating good, real foods, you know, your baby is smiling you back and it's going to tell you, thank you, mommy. So I thank you, ladies, for being here tonight. It has been awesome to have you. And I hope you learned a lot tonight. I hope to see you in again in a class, or look at all my other YouTube videos that are specially made for you. Good night. My name is Chef Dulce Jimenez. I am a certified health coach, wellness chef, and cooking instructor, and nutritional coach for healthy mothers, healthy babies. You can contact me in any of these numbers or through social media, and make sure to watch some of my videos here on YouTube and subscribe if you want more of this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching.